Sponsored by Firestone Complete Auto Care. Keep your car running newer, longer.
This is The Herd. Wherever you may be and however you may be listening, live in Los Angeles, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports Radio, FS1. Joy Taylor is joining me. We love to have her on the show. Joy Taylor, who for years and years covered LeBron in Miami with the Heat. This, we think, is about as good as we've ever seen LeBron play. You watched virtually every game for 4 years. I've never seen him be better, ever.
This is the best he's played offensively ever in his career in year 15, with almost 3 extra years if you count all the playoff games he's played.
By the way, on the road against the dynasty with very little help. It was jaw-dropping last night. It was a jaw-dropping performance last night. By the way, I'm not a letter of the law guy. I mean, I am a rule follower. If you give me rules, I will follow them. But there's a reason in America, when you're driving on the road, there's a sign that says speed limit 55 miles an hour, and you can go 60 before you get, 62, 63 before you get a ticket.
I read that as speed suggestion.
Exactly. Now it says speed limit. That's the limit. Nobody in America gives you a ticket for going 56 because you don't go by the letter of the law, because you don't want the freeway to be clogged with cops and sirens and lights. Sometimes it's the common sense approach. You see it with airlines. You get a rowdy, drunk, passenger. When airlines get in trouble, as they letter of the law and they get rigid and take a deep breath. At the end of that game, the refs over-officiated multiple times. They over-officiated on the Kevin Durant-LeBron play. They over-officiated ejecting Tristan Thompson from the game on that foul on Sean Livingston. So you've already gotten yourself all over the footprint of Game 1. You overcalled that play. You reversed the Kevin Durant-LeBron charge, which is borders on egregious. Now you could throw Kevin Love out of the next game because he walked on the court during the skirmish. That's against the NBA rules. If you want to go letter of the law, you could kick Kevin Love out of the next game. You could kick Tristan Thompson out of the next game, and you could give a speeding ticket for people that go 56 miles an hour driving to work. You don't. It's common sense. You take a deep breath. These are the finals. This is not a Tuesday night in February in Milwaukee. Okay, this is not a November Wednesday night in Orlando. It's the finals. 5 of the best players in the world are on the court. You have history, greatest of all time, a dynasty. You take a deep breath, and none of it matters. You don't worry about Kevin Love on the court. You don't eject Tristan Thompson next game. By the way, Chris Mannix, very respected NBA guy, had this last night. He said, can't see the NBA suspending Love because in recent years, league officials have told me they try to exercise common sense. Okay, you just take a deep breath. The game was decided. The game was over. You had already over-officiated to this point. You have to do this all the time as a ref, as a coach, as a parent, as an airline employee. You got all sorts of emotion. Don't make it worse. You already ruined Game 1 in a lot of eyes by, you just got too many hands and fingerprints and marks and footprint all over this game. And we ended up talking about referees. We should be talking about the greatest basketball players in the world. Listen, Tristan Thompson, what he did right there, that's what you see at the YMCA between a couple of scrubs. Guys get heated. Game's over. Game's been decided. I'm not throwing somebody out of a series because of that. Come on, man. This is pro sports. It is trash talk. Steph Curry's trash talking LeBron, and Draymond's trash talking the Cavs, and the Cavs are trash talking. You can't throw guys out for that. You can't decide a series. You already decided Game 1. If you didn't reverse that blocking call, LeBron had the ball and a lead with 35 seconds left, and we wouldn't be talking about J.R. Smith. All right, here's the second thing. I know everybody thinks, now it should be noted, when Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors, most of you see me as a West Coast guy because I grew up here, but I lived out east, I've lived everywhere. So most of you think I always favor West Coast teams. And I like the Warriors dynasty. I used to cover Steve Kerr. I like him. I love Steph Curry's the most fun I've had watching basketball maybe in my life, along with Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and LeBron. Klay Thompson, I put in my top 10 players last week in the NBA. You guys went berserk. You went bananas. You went nuts. I like Golden State. Okay, I supported Golden State when they went and recruited Kevin Durant. I supported Kevin Durant. I'm not anti-Warrior. But I think we should change the Golden State Warriors and rename them the Golden Fate Warriors, because this is the luckiest team in the history of dynasties. Last night, they get an overturned call. The Houston series, down 3-2, Chris Paul gets hurt. They open the playoffs, no Kawhi Leonard for the Spurs. Then they face New Orleans. They got no Boogie Cousins. Good God, the breaks they've had in the postseason this year are outrageous. They open with the Spurs, no Kawhi. They go to the Pelicans, no Boogie Cousins. They play the Rockets, Chris Paul gets hurt. Then you got a Kevin Durant charge overturn. Kevin Durant misses a rebound, leads to J.R. Smith's epic bonehead gaffe. I mean, they're not Golden State, baby. They are Golden Fate. And I don't resent them. I like them. They're smart. But every single year, in 2015 in the finals, Kevin Love and Kyrie get hurt. In 2016, they lose when they don't get hurt. 2017, they're playing in the Western Conference Finals, and Kawhi Leonard gets hurt. Game 1, they were leading, the Spurs were. And then last series, Chris Paul gets hurt. Good God. This dynasty gets nothing but breaks, and I like this dynasty. And let me say this, though. I tend to be somebody, when games are over, and you see coaches do this and you see players do it, I go to a box score. And the box score, to me, does two things. It either confirms what I believe to be true, or it gives me a little nugget, and I think, over the course of sitting there watching the game, even coaches go to a box score. And they go to a box score because they go, I think we were weak on the offensive boards, and you go down there and you're like, yeah, we got out-rebounded on the offensive glass. But coaches peruse that thing because over the course of a game, there are nuanced and subtle moments that sometimes the human eye does not see or detect. So I go to the box score. First, I've said this for years. The first thing I do after every game, I go to the box score. Here's what jumps out to me. Cleveland shot 45% in this game, and that's with the Warriors playing no defense in the first half. I want much of a defensive. LeBron could hit threes. He could go one-handed. It was a pretty meager, pretty feeble defensive effort by the Warriors in the first half. So that's the first thing that jumps out to me. Second thing is, I thought Cleveland played their butt off in the first half, and by and large, Cleveland played a pretty darn good game. I thought they really played well in the first half, and the Warriors shot over 51%. So when I look at a series like this, and I've always looked at football like this. Years ago, the Patriots played the Giants. Patriots were 18-0. First play of the game, tried a tricky reverse, Giants 7-yard loss. And as I watched that game, it came to the conclusion about 30 minutes in, good God, New England's got to struggle for every yard. I mean, every single yard. And it's like, this is not like game planning. Offensive, defensive line mismatches for the Giants, we got ourselves a close football game. That's why football coaches stand right over the ball for the first two series of a game. That's what football coaches do. Nick Saban does it, gets right over the ball. Why? Line play. Do I have to make adjustments? Can we battle in the trenches? If not, I'm going to have to change things. I'm watching that game last night. Cleveland played well, shot well. Golden State didn't play well first half, and Golden State won. And my question is, that felt like about as good as LeBron can play? Frankly, as good as any human can play? That felt like Cleveland played about as well as they're going to play on the road? That's as well as I've seen Cleveland play on the road, I think, all year when I've been watching them. LeBron got help. Kevin Love played well. There was all sorts of help on that Cavs team last night. Golden State sleepwalking through the first half. Golden State, no urgency, kind of out of it in the first half. Clay got hurt. They couldn't hit threes. Golden State, until that last Steph three, was 5 for 17 first half of threes. Clay got hurt. Didn't play any defense. I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but before the meltdown with J.R. Smith, I was watching that game thinking, man, Cleveland and LeBron are playing good tonight. If they don't win this game, I'm not sure LeBron can play better. I'm not sure Cleveland can play better. And they lost. And then you add in the emotional trauma of feeling you got robbed, of now not trusting a teammate, J.R. Smith. Listen, I'm hoping this is a great series. I am rooting for a long series. I said I picked Golden State in 5. I figure if you look at Golden State's numbers, they generally go on the road, give one away with a series lead, don't shoot particularly well on the road compared to their home numbers. I kind of feel like there's part of me that thinks Sunday's not going to be close. Like, I just don't know if Cleveland can play better. I don't know if the Warriors in the first half can shoot worse. And they still didn't win. And now, later on, LeBron's sitting there thinking, I don't like my owner. I can't trust JR. I can't trust George Hill. Ty didn't call a timeout. All right, Doug Gottlieb. Cannot wait for this. Doug's right around the corner. His thoughts on a wild Game 1 of the NBA Finals. All right, we've all been there. I always tell the story. When I first got out of college, I had a car. It was a beater that caught fire on the freeway in Las Vegas. And I pulled off on the freeway in Charleston Avenue. My car was on fire. Pulled into a Texaco. Got a cab to a car dealership, and on a credit card, bought a car. That's all the money I had in the world. $1,500 down, walked out with a car. Here's the thing. Once your car's out of a warranty, you don't want to end up with a $600 bill because a sensor light was out. That's where CarShield comes in. $2 billion in claims since this St. Louis company was created. They give you a free rental car while yours is in the shop, free. They give you 24/7 roadside assistance while your car is in the shop. You can send your car to your dealership, and they'll pay the dealership directly. Listen, man, when you drive to work, look around. How many cars are new? Not that many. Almost all of us are driving a car that's 3, 4, 5, or 6 years old or older. They're out of their warranty. You got to get a warranty in it. Go to carshield.com, code HERD, or call 800-CAR-6100, 800-CAR-6100, and mention the code HERD in both instances. You'll get 10% off.